You think you're the owner? That's adorable. Do you think cats know you're human? Of course we do. But knowing you're human doesn't mean we see you the way you imagine we do. That's where humans get it wrong most often. You love clear labels. Owner, pet, my cat. Nice, neat, logical, very human. But if a cat like me actually had to describe you, I promise you, those are not the words we'd start with. The funny thing is, the answer isn't hidden at all. We show it every single day, in the way we watch you, follow you, call for you, or choose to lie down close to you when the whole house has gone quiet. It's just that humans tend to notice the behavior without understanding what it really means. I'm Callie, a calico cat living with humans, which basically means I spend every day witnessing a lot of confusing behavior. You talk to screens. You open the fridge, then stand there forgetting what you were about to get. And most of all, you really love believing you understand cats. Trust me, most of the time, you really don't, especially when it comes to what we actually think about you.
You're not my owner. You're a familiar part of my world. If you still think of yourself as the owner, let me be honest with you. That's not how we see it. Humans love labels. Owner, pet, possession, nice and tidy. But cats like me don't build relationships around labels like that. When I rub my head against your leg, I'm not greeting my owner. When I jump up to sit next to you, I'm not fulfilling some duty. When I follow you from room to room, I'm not doing it out of politeness. I do those things because I know you. I trust you. I've accepted you as part of my world. We don't talk as much as humans do. We speak through distance, through eye contact, through who we choose to stay close to. So when a cat keeps choosing to be near you, that is not a small thing. It means this person is safe, this person is familiar, this person belongs in my life. So no, I don't see you as an owner. I see you as a familiar part of my world. You're not just familiar, you might actually be the safest feeling in the house. But familiarity alone still isn't the biggest part of it. There are plenty of warm spots in the house. The windsill gets the sun, fresh laundry smells nice, and your laptop is always weirdly warm for no reason. And yet, so often we still choose to lie near you, not because you're the warmest spot, but because you're the one that feels safest. Sometimes, just hearing you move around the house makes me feel more at ease. Sometimes I'm on alert, but the moment you sit down nearby, I relax. Sometimes the whole room looks exactly the same, but if you're not there, it still feels like something is missing. Humans love to think we're cold. We're not, we're just private about it. We may not always cuddle you in loud, obvious ways, but when a cat chooses to sleep near you, stay where you can be seen, or quietly appear when you're sad, that's not random. That's our way of saying, with this person here, I feel more okay. Put simply, you're not just living in my house. Sometimes you're the reason it feels like home. And I'm pretty curious, where does your cat love to sleep most? At the foot of the bed, next to your pillow, on your chest, or just somewhere close enough to keep you in sight? We recognize you more clearly than you think, by your voice, your footsteps, and the way you enter a room. And no, that's not just a feeling. We really do know exactly who you are. Take your voice, for example. You might think I'm ignoring you, but honestly, a lot of the time I hear everything. I know which voice you use with other people, and I also know that very specific voice you only use with me. The one that gets a little softer, a little slower, a little sweeter than necessary. Yeah, we notice all of it. That doesn't mean I'm always going to respond right away. I have my pride too. Knowing and reacting are two very different things. And then there's your footsteps. Everyone in the house walks differently. Some people move quickly, some shuffle around in slippers. Sometimes I already know who's home before they even make it through the door. We pay attention to those things more than you realize. And that's what makes this relationship far more interesting than the word owner could ever be. Because we don't just know that some human lives in the house, we know it's you, your voice, your rhythm, the way you enter a room. So if your cat lifts their head the moment they hear you, runs to the door, or completely changes their attitude when you call their name, well, now you know. They're not nearly as indifferent as they pretend to be. They know exactly who you are.
We don't just recognize you, we can tell when something's wrong, too. Recognizing you is one thing. Reading you is something else. Humans tend to think you have to say it out loud for anyone to know you're sad, but cats, like me, don't need that many words. There are days when you walk into the house looking exactly the same as always, but not quite the same. You set your bag down more gently. You sit a little longer. You're quieter than usual. Your shoulders are tense. Your eyes look tired. Your whole body feels a little off. We notice. I may not come rushing over like in the movies. I'm not dramatic like that. But I might jump up on the couch a little closer to you than usual. I might sit quietly beside you. I might just lie there, like it's no big deal, and still not leave. That's how we stay with you. Not loudly, not with a lot of questions, not by making you explain yourself. Just, yeah, I'm here. And honestly, that's one of the biggest things humans misunderstand about cats. We're not careless. We're just subtle in a very cat-like way. So if your cat suddenly stays closer when you're tired, sad, or stressed, they probably weren't just wandering by. Maybe they noticed something in you before you even had words for what you were feeling. Has your cat ever come to you out of nowhere at exactly the right moment, when you were sad or exhausted? Tell me, what did they usually do?
And the funny part is, you humans are finally starting to catch on. One time, I was stretched out on the couch, pretending to sleep. You know the kind, one eye shut, one eye barely open, ears still on, fully aware of every bit of household drama. The TV was on that day, some show humans love to watch while eating and scrolling on their phones. I don't remember the name, but I do remember they were talking about cats. At first, I wasn't planning to listen. I had more important things to do, like lying right in the middle of the walkway and making everyone step around me. But then I heard something like this. Many cats feel safer when the person they're bonded with is nearby. That's when I opened one eye. Oh, so you're finally starting to catch up with us. And honestly, that lines up with what cat researchers have observed too. Many cats see their caregiver as a secure base, a source of safety that helps them feel less stressed in unfamiliar situations. That study was published by Oregon State University in 2019.
A few days later, you played another video. This time, they were talking about how cats watch human reactions to figure out whether something is actually worth worrying about. That was the point where I actually lifted my head and paid attention. Because that is absolutely our thing. Sometimes something strange shows up in the house. A new box, a sudden noise, something crashing to the floor in the middle of the night. In moments like that, we do not always stare only at the object itself. A lot of the time, we look at you first. If you jump, we notice. If you stay calm, we notice that too. And that matches scientific observations as well. Cats can use their owner's emotional cues to adjust their own response to unfamiliar objects or uncertain situations. Then, on another day, your phone was playing something in the kitchen while you were washing dishes. I was sitting on the table, acting like I had clearly never been taught any manners in my life. And once again, I overheard a bit about how cats can recognize their owner's voice. I almost laughed. How long does it take humans to study something we have known forever? Because yes, cats really can tell their owner's voice apart from a stranger's. That is something a study published in Animal Cognition reported. That does not mean I always turn around right away. I have standards too. But do not confuse "I'm not reacting" with "I don't know." Those are two very different things. Oh, and then there's the slow blink. That one I caught from another video you played on your laptop. Some expert was explaining that when humans look at a cat and slowly blink, a lot of cats will respond the same way and may even be more likely to come closer. I was sitting on the keyboard, blocking half the screen exactly as intended, and thinking, finally, someone got it right. Because that slow blink was never just cute, it's softer than that. So yeah, owner is far too cold a word for something like this. If you put it all together, if I come to you when I need to feel safe, if I can pick your voice out from a sea of noise, if I look at your reaction to figure out whether something is actually wrong, and if I slow blink when I'm near you, then tell me, does the word owner really sound right? No, it's too cold, too distant, too much like a label humans invented to make everything sound neat and organized, when the truth is probably closer to this. Sometimes you're where I go when I need to feel calm. Sometimes you're the signal that tells me everything is okay. Sometimes just having you in the room changes the whole room. That doesn't sound like owner. That sounds a lot more like home. Not a house made of walls and doors, but that feeling that makes my nervous system finally settle. That feeling that tells me, yeah, I'm safe here. To me, you are home. So the next time your cat follows you from room to room, when they hop onto the bed and choose to settle right next to you, when they hear your voice and gently lift their head, or when they slow blink at you like their whole body just softened, don't be too quick to brush those off as random little habits. For us, very little is ever as accidental as humans like to think. We don't love in loud ways. We're not great at explaining ourselves, and we're definitely not always cooperative. But when a cat truly chooses you, trusts you, and lets you fully into their world, that is a very big thing, bigger than the word owner could ever be. Because in the eyes of a cat like me, you're not just the one who fills the food bowl, not just the person who shares the house, not just some human who happened to pass through my life. You're the familiar voice in the middle of all the noise, the presence that makes me let my guard down, the place I go when I need to feel safe, a part of the rhythm of life I've learned to trust. Put as simply as I can, you're not my owner. To me, you are home. I'm Callie, and if your cat has their own tiny ways of staying close to you like that, then maybe they've been telling you this for a long time already, just in the language of cats. And if you want to understand that language a little more, stay with me. We cats still have a lot to say.